Hi, it looks like I'm live. So I'm having some technical issues. I'm gonna see if I can get Isla and the team to help me with it. But um, it seems like StreamYard, which is what we use for our lives, had an upgrade, and I didn't upgrade my mind along with everything else. Anyway, hi there. It's so good to see you. Let me see who all is there. Put who you. Hi. Hi, Be Humble. How are you today? Who else is there? There's a whole bunch of people there. So let me know who's here. And then welcome to my weekly vlog and what's happening. Hi, Mary Kay. And I am good. And Becky from Oklahoma. It's been an interesting week. So there's been some challenges, which I think when one goes from, well, as I'm trying to improve my mobility, I can have good days and bad days. So I don't know about you, but hi, Donna. Um, when there's something called inertia. I remember learning about it in science when I was such a geek. But inertia, the energy that it takes to overcome inertia is more energy than it takes to maintain and sustain a higher energy level. And inertia is when, you know what? I don't want to move. I'm sitting here, I'm lying here, I don't want to budge. And I have had many different phases of inertia. Is anybody else familiar with this state of being? It's like when I have to tell you, I feel like for some reason today is almost like I gotta say this. I Something I really like is so my ex-husband is Japanese. So let me say that. And so we were together for many years. And I yeah, so a couple of you said the same thing. I feel the same way. Be Humble says, I just can't get going. Yeah, I just can't get going. I get it. And because it hurts to move. Yeah, it hurts so bad to move. It really does. So let me go back to my ex-husband, who is a sweetheart, by the way. Lovely, lovely person. We were just not meant for one another for the long term. But anyway, I got very Asian acclimated. And so, one of the things that I love, which is kind of funky, is some kinds of Asian food. And I haven't eaten carbs in forever, but there are some sushi and soups that have noodles in them. So there's a couple of things like that I haven't eaten most of 40 years. I say most because on occasion I have, but so anyway, for whatever reason, I decided, gee, I haven't had that in a long time. I think I'll get some from Costco. So Costco has this Asian soup with dumplings. They have a lot of other things too, but that kind of thing. Yeah. Um, and I've been feeling great. I've been more mobile. I've been doing more because of all the moving. I have been noticing a lot more stamina. I'm like, wow, I'm doing pretty good. And then when I had the dumplings, Well, I didn't notice it. I didn't put the connection together right away. What happened is, so I must have got the dumplings over a week ago. And what I noticed is pain. I noticed a kind of burning sensation in my legs. And I said, I wonder what happened. It was okay. I was feeling like I was getting better, and now it's worse. I've also been doing the Big Six. Dr. Perry Nicholson's Big Six is a 6-channel opening of the lymphatic system. And so I've been doing that pretty regularly. Anyway, so I'm thinking to myself, what is it? What am I doing? What am I doing that might be different? Aha! The noodles. And I went, uh-oh, that did it. So I thought to myself, well, first I was kind of pissy and like, why can't I have that? I really like it. Well, it doesn't help with my weight. Definitely doesn't help with weight loss. And it definitely doesn't help with inflammation. It's incredibly inflammatory, which is why there's more pain. So I said to myself, self, you ask and here's an answer. You don't like the answer, but here's the answer. You can't eat that stuff. That stuff does not support you. And because the burning in my legs just came back. Okay, wait. Be Humble says, I've been on keto and my terrible burning in my legs has gone away. Thank God. Yep. Same with me. You know, when I'm on keto, and I've been on keto a lot, it just, I can feel the difference. Oh my goodness, Julie. Julie has COVID, everybody. Julie Rosa in California. Please, let's all send her energy. Let's all send her. Oh no, there's a new strain where it affects, and you're vomiting. Ugh. Oh, honey, if there's anything we can do, just let us know. Okay, the other thing, now Teresa says, I've done that to myself more than once, either out of craving or convenience or others serving me food. Inflammation is horrible. I hate lipedema. You know, Teresa, let me say that it's not only with lipedema. Inflammation is at the core of many painful disorders. A lot of autoimmune disorders are based in inflammation. So, but for sure, lipedema and lymphedema is there. And so, my awareness that I share with you is all right, I know what carbs does to my body. Why it does it, I don't know. I mean, I know it increases inflammation. I know that inflammation then goes on to make for a really painful environment. I can feel it when I put my feet on the floor, getting out of bed. I can feel the pain starting. It's not so much when I'm lying down, but when I start to put any pressure on it. Yeah, so Pamela says the same thing. Thanks, Pamela. Yeah, this is she gets burning in her legs sometimes, but she hasn't since she's been on keto. It's amazing. We hear it again and again and again. And Julie says she celebrated with sushi. The soy has gluten. Yeah, you have to be very careful with gluten. So, so here's the bottom line, ladies. My big insight from this week is now, after more than 40 years on a low carb diet, here I am as saying again, carbs are not good. Now, I say that I want to eat carbs. I'm not going to anymore. I'm going to eliminate them. I have one more little serving of the noodle soup thing that I like so much. And I might have it, I might not. I'll see. I still have dinner to have today. We'll see. So Julie says she's first of all, thank you for sending Julie love. Julie, she says just knowing people are there is great. She's been in her house and refused to go out and give it to anyone else. I could use a kitty right now. I can't send mine, but I'll have them wave to you. Okay, miracle noodles. I know. I know. I know Asian noodles. I mean, I know miracle noodles and I know cellophane noodles. And I have to tell you, um, they're not the same. They're good. I I had a subscription to Miracle Noodles when they came out. I was getting 30 packages a month. And yeah, that's the simple truth of it. There are certain foods that are our own personal trigger foods. Noodles do that for me. I'm Italian. I grew up in a very traditional Italian household. Pasta was everywhere. and and I love it. I grew to love it. I grew to love pasta, bread, pizza. Trying to think of, you know, I liked a lot of good foods, but I tend to veer on the side of carbs. And the thing that I've discovered is enough is never enough. There are certain foods that there is not a point of satiety where it's like, okay, that's enough. Except I'm becoming more aware of it in myself. So I didn't expect to go on a food rant, except that I noticed how much it was tied into the pain I was experiencing. Yes, Be Humble says, I love all that stuff and ice cream. Me too. Out of dessert stuff, ice cream is my favorite. Again, thick, rich, creamy. So, well, let us continue to explore. And for me, I'm going to be getting off of the carbs and then do my citizen science. Let me see what the difference is. Because I'll bet that all of the burning sensation that I've been feeling is going to disappear. Oh, Becky says she likes desserts, sugar, She could skip all the other food and just have desserts. Yeah, definitely a sweet tooth. So I want to, because wow, I can't believe I've rambled for almost 20 minutes. So I would like to talk a little bit about the lipedema stuff that's happening, because I started to talk about it, I think, last week because someone asked a question, and I wanted to answer it. Is that we are in the process of putting together a new service for the community. It's called Lipedema Surgery Concierge. What is concierge? Well, it's a new program, it's a newish program in healthcare where you have a membership with a doctor, and that doctor takes care of you. And you can call, much like a concierge, and they will guide you, direct you, and in our case, hold your hand, be there with you, and make sure that you get what you need. So, why about surgery? So, a number of lipedema ladies that we work with have had surgery successfully, very successfully. And I began, it's not even a we, it's a me. I began to realize that I'm just taking a look at the chat, um, began to realize that I had a very challenging experience with my surgery. Why? Because when I did my surgery, it was brand new. I did my surgeries in the very early exploration phase. There were a few surgeons in Germany who had been doing it. And so I opted to have my surgeries in Germany. And the first one went fine. The second one, there were massive complications. Uh, I did not plan well. I was overseas. There were numerous things that I now look back on and should not have done. Um, but I did what I did. And when I look back on it, I didn't follow. I didn't follow. I had uh, a couple of surgeons who I trust highly tell me that I wasn't a candidate for surgery and not to do it. But I was determined. I wanted, I had traveled all through Europe. I had, I made a documentary film about it. So I was determined. Was not a good choice. I almost died. Um, and so one of the things that I realized is that the way that I do things, I said, okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to look for and find other solutions, which is how I developed the holistic approach. I mean, the holistic approach has been around forever. It's not like I developed it, but I started to apply it to lipedema and start to see the different options. Uh, and what I have begun to realize is that surgery for lipedema is very much a part of the possible protocol, for various and sundry reasons, that it can fit in beautifully with an overall approach that is indeed a holistic approach. So, that being said, this was quite a journey, and I'll talk more about it in September at our event. was the realization and understanding as to how things fit together, and that each of us are unique, and that, what fits and works for one doesn't necessarily fit and work for everyone else. So I have been having a great time working with Michelle Jacqua. Michelle Jacqua is a what's called a nurse navigator. She works within healthcare and regular healthcare systems, helping to navigate the system for people who have complex issues that they deal with. Um, so Pamela says, how long ago was my surgery? 2016. So that's 8 years ago. That's a long time ago. Didn't realize it was that long. Thank you. When was it? I think it was in the spring of 2016. I have to look back at the dates and stuff. It's a good idea for me to know this. I came back that summer. Yeah, because that's when we were starting with the holistic approach. Incredibly sick. I literally could not move. I was bedridden for a long time. I was in kidney failure, in and out of the ER, in and out of the hospital. So these are all pretty intense issues. But I think there's been enough grounding. There's been enough sustainability. There's a strong community. And I think there's a need for additional support, since there's so many who are interested in at least the exploration. So we will be doing that in September. Well, what we're doing is in September, we're going to be, as we do when we have an event, we have an event coming up. I'm getting the link right now. I love our events. They're so fabulous. I have an event. I'm putting it in the chat. There you go. This is, we still have, actually, I think we still have a few seats left. We designated 100 tickets at early bird special. So here it is. learn.lipedema-simplified.org/lipedema-lymphedema-event. It's our heart-to-heart events. Heart-to-heart meaning that, we get down and really share with one another what's going on and what's needed, and support one another. And we have incredible guest speakers, experts. We have Dr. Roxon coming back. He's amazing. Bill Rapisi. We have our experts, Leslie Keith and Siobhan Huggins and Gail Straker. And me, I'll be giving a talk. And then we have Dr. Ray Perrin, who does the Perrin technique. Absolutely brilliant understanding of lymphology. And Dr. Perry Nicholson is going to be one of our keynote speakers. And then we have a number of the women who at large have been spreading awareness. And Patty Cornute, who is Lipedema Fitness. Oh, that's so great. Be Humble says the last one was fabulous. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And this one, they get better. Each one gets better because we learn more and more. So I think, let me go back because I'm going to talk a little bit more about the surgery thing and then just say, come to the September thing for more. Thanks, Pamela. I'm glad I'm better too. What happened during that caused you to happen during the surgery that caused you to get so ill? That is a good question that I don't have the answer to. Um, what I know is, and because it's not necessarily what happens during the surgery, but I was in Europe doing work. I was working, I was doing research, and it's when I was writing the book with a number of the surgeons from Europe. So I was working there. And I took time off to have the surgery. And then I flew from Germany to the UK to present at a conference within a week after the surgery. And I thought I was fine. I don't think I was now looking back. Then I flew back to Germany. I was in Germany for a couple days and then flew back to the US. So I had a number of flights, which are not good for lymphedema or lipedema because of the bariatric pressure. I'm just looking at the chat. So Karina says, are kidney issues common? I don't know. I do know that I had them. I know of a few others that had them. So I don't know if it's a commonality or not. That's something we should ask Leslyn because she has way more understanding of the deep research than I do. Um, but anyway, when I came back, to say that I got sick is understatement. And I think I had many different layers of complications. I think I had complications related to the surgery. I had complications related to muscle strain in my leg. I couldn't walk hardly at all because I had strained an adductor muscle. Actually, I did more than strain it, I had torn it. There was a micro tear, which I think came from traveling. Um, I I ended up with some kind of, I think it was from the water. The water in where I was in Germany was so pristine. You know, tap water was not an issue because the water was so amazing. And I'm one that drinks a lot of water for hydration. And when I came back, I didn't think of any. I didn't think of it. I mean, why would I think of it? That I had acclimated my system to this very, very clean system in Germany. So when I came back to the US and I met a friend for brunch to go through, it was so good to see her after not having seen her in months and months. So we went to Cheesecake Factory and I got water. I think I just ordered plain water. And then all I know is by the time I got home, I had the worst case of dysentery. So I think it was the water here in the US was not as pristine as the water in Germany. And I had, lost my adaptation to it. So without getting into more gory details, the bottom line is I had many layers of of not rightness, of illness. And it took a long, when I say a long, long time, over a year for me to get better. And I didn't know I was going to get better at a couple of points. And so we're going to be delving into the heart to heart events have opened all of us up to deeper and deeper exploration of our own processes in such a way that we can share them and learn from them and help one another. Oh my God, Julie, each heart to heart event does get better than the last. They really do. It's amazing. So, anyway, we're all so psyched for this one. So, join us. I put the link, it's in the chat. Make sure if you haven't registered already, register before the price goes up. The price is going up. I don't know when. Uh, um, the team is going to do that, but it's soon. The price is going to be going up soon. So get it at this price. And yeah, I think so. My takeaway, carbs are not good, at least for me. Good idea not to eat them ever, but we'll see. I'm taking it a day at a time right now, but going back to keto and cleaning up and gonna see what happens. So that's my core message today. The other core message is, you know, exploration. Be open to what's right for you. And we're going to be doing that more and more around surgery for those who want it. And in the meantime, it's Sunday afternoon here. It's been an absolutely lovely weekend. I got so much done yesterday, and I have someone coming at 5:30 who's going to, which is in a couple of minutes. Let me just see. Yep. Who's going to help me to get more organized. So, on that note, I'm going to say have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I love you very much, and I'll look forward to catching up with you again really soon. Oh, we have a webinar next Sunday on the surgery. So, look for it, sign up for it, come join us, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.